Dinnie in. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Wow, I am so rusty at this. Let's start over. Dinnie in. Good morning, afternoon, evening, everyone, and welcome to Dinnie and Virginie, the podcast. Yes, Dinnie and Virginie, the podcast, in which I still don't know what I'm doing after 27 episodes, and you're just not gonna like it. It's okay though. We're just experimenting here at Dinnie and Virginie. I am so bad at this for some reason. Me and podcasting, that's just not gonna be my thing, I guess. I mean, yeah, so let's just pretend I'm actually doing a good job right now. So as you can see, it is Dinnie and Virginia the podcast. Now I have this new box that I recently decorated so that I can have something that says Dinnie on it to be constantly reminded that this is in fact Dinnie and Virginia's channel. Um, and I spent a long time on it, and the sizing of it is not right. It does not translate well on camera, but that's a-okay because we're just trying and experimenting, and we're gonna get better and better and better at this. Also, background not doing what I wanted it to do at all. Like, I thought this would be large enough to cover the entire background. It is not large enough to cover the entire background. So, anyway, I digress. Let's just get on with the episode. Welcome to Dinnie and Virginia, the podcast in which I have no idea what I'm doing. I have a horrible intro, and I'm still here at my messy, messy desk that will one day be cleaned again. On today's episode, it is talking about episode 27, rainy day activities. This is going to be an actual quick episode. I just wanted to go live today because I have the house to myself, and I shouldn't be interrupted. Please. So I wanted to get an episode out quickly because it just so happened to be a rainy day today, and I chose to spend the day inside. And that's okay. So I was like, let's take advantage of this quiet time and actually go live for another Dinnie and Virginia, the podcast, and also show off my box that says Dinnie, and that's my logo. Made it myself. I shall be signing my name in the future with this symbol. Anyway, rainy day activities. This is going to be a short episode because I did not do any proper planning. But for me personally, I am not a fan of water. I don't like being out in the water. I don't like getting wet. And so when it was raining today, on and off thunderstorms, right now it's ironically very clear and very sunny. So I'm a little upset because there was plenty of stuff to do today around Hampton Roads, but because it was raining, I was like, let me stay inside. And now it's kind of beautiful, but it's okay. I digress. I chose to stay inside today, so that's always an option, is just stay in your home and figure something out to do in your home. You can clean the house, you can get organized, you can apply for jobs that you need to apply for, you can brainstorm ways to make money online, you can build a whole business, explore entrepreneurship, read a book, you can just be cozy, you can do a deep clean, you can reorganize, you can paint something, you can do crafts. There's so many things you can do inside your house. It's just like the normal stuff that you do in your house, except now you are trapped inside all day. So today I just so happened to stay inside the house, and I cleaned up a little bit, not this desk, but I cleaned up a little bit throughout the house. I didn't cook anything. I need to cook something, but I'm also like, I'm going to try to cook it up tomorrow for Sunday dinner. So kind of don't want to cook today. It's Saturday, and I'm just going to let it slide and let the cards lay where they lie. But yeah, rainy day activity for me, just stay at home and work on finding the courage to do the things that I know I need to do to be better in life. That's just like the mental thing that I'm doing right now. I'm not gonna lie, I'm using you as a procrastination method. Don't do as I do as I say, kids, adults, whoever might be watching. So yeah, I am going live today talking about rainy day activities. So that's one thing you can do, is you can stay home, you can clean the house, do a deep clean, you can reorganize yourself, you can do things that you've been procrastinating on doing inside, you can apply for jobs, you can explore entrepreneurship, you can work on personal development, you can just read a anthology, a whole good book, you can watch some movies, whatever you want to do, because it's your house, so you know the stuff that you have. You can do board games, whatever you want to do, throw a party, whatever, as long as it's inside if you don't like the rain. Now, if you enjoy the rain and it's not, actively thunderstorming out there, go frolic. Enjoy. That is your place. This is your peace. Go out there and frolic. I encourage you. Please be happy, because those of us who do not like it, we will be indoors. But we need you guys out there to frolic happily and enjoy the rain. So yeah, if you like the rain, go outside and frolic. Have a good time. Have a great time. Be inspired. I know a lot of artists out there, I think, are like into nature and stuff like that. So the rain might be like some good inspiration for some new works. That'd be cool. So art, that's another option of something to do when you're indoors or when it's raining outside. You can explore your artistic abilities. If you're an actual artist, it's a lot easier than if you are not. So if you're an actual artist, if you're shut indoors anyway, you can work on some artistic projects that you've been procrastinating on doing. You can finally finish those comics. You can finally paint that painting, especially if you're off the whole day, it's Saturday, and you have that whole day, crank it out. Just lock in, shut down, lock in, and get that thing done from start to finish all the way. And you're just going to be like, whoo, I'm glad that is off my chest. After a year of procrastinating, it only took one rainy day for me to finish that art piece. So that's another option for you guys. Another option would be museums, because museums are typically indoors. Sometimes they have outdoor activities, sometimes they have outdoor sections, but for the most part, museums are typically inside. There are quite a few museums here in Virginia, not in Chesapeake. There's one museum that I know of, the Great Bridge Battlefield and Waterways Museum, but that costs money to get into. But there are plenty of free options for museums. But if money's not an option, then all the options are options for you. But if money is an option, there are both paid and unpaid museums that you can explore in the great state of VA. I know for Hampton Roads, there's quite a few art museums that are completely free to explore, and it's very nice to have that access. So legitimately, you can spend hours and hours and hours at the Chrysler Museum. I can say that for a fact, because one time I went there, it was before work, I think, or before an event. I legitimately only got to like the first two sections because I was fascinated by the glasswork. So I spent the entire hour that I had just looking at glasswork. So museums can take up a lot of time, or they can take up a little time depending on the museum and depending on what you yourself want to get from it. What are your interests? Go to a museum that interests you, or even if you don't think it will interest you, go anyway and just see what you can see and just maybe be inspired by something, because you never really know what's going to inspire you. So that's another option. Museums. Museums are awesome. It doesn't have to be art. It could be history. It could be a unique niche thing. You can go to an arcade. That's another option of something to do. Now, the only thing is, if it's like raining cats and dogs and you go to an arcade, for me, I like to go to arcades that have rhythm machines, and so that includes DDR, pump, and stuff like that. A lot of machines that require you to get on the machine. So the only iffy thing about going to arcades is that if it's raining cats and dogs, the machines might be a little jacked up, a little slippery, a little bit. The ones that require your feet. So just have that in mind. But other than that, arcades are a very, very good option for when it's raining cats and dogs, or raining and you don't like being outdoors when it's raining. Very solid option to choose when you were looking for something to do on a rainy day. What else? You can go to the library. The libraries are still open, unless maybe your library might have weird hours. It might be closed on certain days, depending on the day that it is. If you have time, you can go to the library. You can, once again, like I said, just lock in, or you can get cozy. Oh, cafe, that's another option. Libraries or cafes, just get cozy, lock in, and bring. You can either bring your stuff, or if you're in the library, you can utilize their resources. You can learn a new skill. Maybe you're secretly a marketer or an engineer, or you didn't know that you would be interested in being a doctor, but you picked up a couple of doctor books. That's totally what they're called, doctor books. And you were like, you know what? I think I could save some lives. And you do that. You read those books. You get in school. You graduate with over a 4.0 average, and you save lives. All because you took the time during a rainy day to actually take advantage of it and improve yourself. And that's one of the main points that I want to let you guys know, that on rainy days, it doesn't always have to be like strictly fun. At some point, we have a lot of fun days. We have a lot of fun days throughout our lives. So, but certain days you can be like, what if instead of spending time watching a movie, as I had suggested previously as an option, it's an option, still an option, instead of doing that or going to the mall, which is another option, what if I started learning a new skill? What if I started learning a new language like Chinese, Spanish, Japanese, whatever you want? Just spend the whole day on Duolingo or something. What if you spent the time to actually work on yourself and see where that goes? Maybe explore like different career options. Maybe take the time to read some nonfiction books, some biographies, some autobiographies, perhaps some personal development, something that you think would, some motivational stuff, some faith-based stuff, whatever it is that you think will kind of like kick you in gear to kind of just learn something new to expand yourself. That is another very valid option of something to do during a rainy day that not all people think of. I was one of those people in the past for many, many, many years, for several decades, that I wouldn't really work on myself during rainy days. I would just use it to rot away. I would be inside. I would just watch a bunch of TV, or I might read some like young adult fiction books back in the day in high school. But I wouldn't really take advantage of the rainy days if I'm stuck inside anyway. I would just kind of like exist and rot and then wait until the next day that is a lot nicer. But you can actually use that time for your benefit. And you can actually go to YouTube University. You can take some courses on Coursera. You don't have to spend money. You can do some free stuff. You can learn about marketing. You can learn about gardening. I really need some people to learn about gardening in Virginia and teach the rest of us so that, we actually take advantage of the land that we have, because I come from Chesapeake, the peak of excellence. And there's one thing we got some land. And so I need you gardeners out there to help us out and teach us how we can take advantage of living in the wonderful great state of VA. But that's all I wanted to do, is tell you guys some options that you have on rainy days. I'm trying to get my setup a little bit better each and every single time. It's kind of getting worse. My box, this probably looks so bad because I didn't even like look. My screen is over here, my camera's over here. I don't even know if I'm looking at you because the lights are in my eyes. So this is probably looking a hot mess, and I apologize, but that's okay. We're getting a little bit better every time, or we're getting worse so that we can get better. That's all I have to say to you guys today on this episode of Dinnie and Virginia, the podcast, talking about rainy day activities. Yeah. So that's all I have for you guys. I hope you guys are having a wonderful, beautiful, fantastic day. Remember, it is yet another beautiful day here in VA. So until next time, Dinnie out.